Hi, I'm Sophia and I draw animals, and today we are drawing raccoons. Raccoons, yes. I haven't drawn raccoons in the sketchbook yet, which is crazy considering they're adorable and funny and super cool. Oh, that's a lie. Drawn them one time. It was in a quick doodle for an art marker, like an ArtX marker paint spread thing. Yes, just one time. But yeah, we're gonna do something kind of sketchy, but still probably colorful because we know how I get. I will not be testing any new mediums today just because I don't have any sort of sealant, and I feel like with gouache, which is one of my new mediums, and the silky bear crayons, you need some sort of sealant, otherwise they'll stick and smudge, and I just don't want to risk that right now at the end of the sketchbook. I am also going to skip this blank page. You'll see, I'm going to show you right now. I'm skipping this page for a second. I'll come back to her. It's because I did a spread here, and I want to do another spread, I think, because raccoons are fucking awesome and adorable, and I think I'm gonna want to draw more than one. So one last thing before I go, I do want to thank you for clicking on this video and spending some time with me to hang out and whatever. Highly appreciate all of you that comment and like and repost all my stuff across platforms, but especially interacting here on YouTube. That's kind of what I really want to do. I have a lot of fun on TikTok and Threads, but I know that YouTube is going to be a more sustainable option for me in general, and I really do enjoy making these videos. It's a lot of fun for me. It's a lot of exploration and growth that's happening, and I get to kind of document it and watch it and share my chaos and craziness with you guys. So yeah, thanks for being here. Please do consider subscribing if you like my video. Let's get to it. I'm picking out some references on Pinterest, but I'm gonna try to like stitch together my own so I can actually like sell these as stickers or prints if I like them enough. Okay, so we're starting off with sketching. I am gonna kind of zoom through this process, but I haven't really talked about how I sketch. I honestly took my process from those like tutorial books you get when you're a kid. My sister got me this bird tutorial drawing book ages ago. I think I was in middle school at the time, and it's honestly one of my most prized possessions, and I have it to this day in my home. I really like it, and it kind of helped me break down shapes a lot better. Not to mention, since I've started drawing, like I kind of see things in broken down shapes now. Like all I can imagine is like you know that one meme with the math running, like that's what it looks like in my head when I'm seeing all the shapes and lines and vectors and shit, like, you know. But I always get a little bit ahead of myself and start detailing the face a little too much. You see, I do it with like every raccoon on this page, but more than likely I'm always going to do my big broad shapes and leave it at that. This might be subconscious, I don't know, but I do love complementary colors, and I tend to sketch in the complementary color. We're gonna be working with like orangey toned browns today and like red toned browns, and I'm using green. I don't know why. Green has nothing to do with raccoons, but I am using it, and I think it looked pretty good at the end. So, anywho, I knew that going into this, I'd probably want to devote a whole page to the raccoons just because they're so cute and like just classic lovable creature, because they're so mischievous and like honestly they're just really cool. They're very interesting animals, and the way their anatomy works is very cool. Like their wrists can like turn all the way to the side. Like I don't remember what the angle is. There's like an angle number, but it helps them climb like upside down trees and stuff like that, so they don't have to go backwards necessarily. But anyway, yeah. When I'm breaking down shapes, I just do the broadest shapes. I kind of blur my eyes to make it a little bit harder to get lost in the details, and so I just kind of see these very broad shapes, which, to be fair, it's not that hard for me to blur my vision. I already have very bad eyesight. If I walk a few feet away, it's probably pretty blurry, to be honest, but I do that, and then it kind of helps me work it down now, y'all. I don't know how else to explain. I think I already got that over. It's fine. It's fine. Move on to start the coloring process now. I hope I can do this with the light still. I think I'm gonna wind up using pencils very, very lightly, and or switching the light on my Mr. pencil to a darker color and just doing like a grayscale, like values version of this. Yeah. Now is the fun part, which is actually adding color / line work. I'm working with my Prismacolor pencils today. They're just like the soft pastel ones. You know the drill. I'm kind of obsessed with putting my palette colors around my drawings, especially because they're sketchbook pages. I like to remember what kind of color was used, because when you start using them with different strengths and stuff, the values kind of make it look like a different color, you know, so it's fun to have a good block of what it actually is. But I started off with my darkest brown. I chose 4 different browns, and this one was definitely a lot purplier. It looks a lot lighter initially, but I find that when it's next to the other ones that are more orangey, it looks almost like an actual red brown, purpley red brown. You know, I literally can't describe colors like simply. I always say like 4 different descriptors for them, because in my head it can't just be one thing, it's many a thing. So we're moving on. I start by blocking out the darkest shapes and doing a light layer of pencils. I'm gonna go around and you'll see I'll start layering and fucking layering and layering pencils. This actually took me like 3.5, maybe 4 hours to color in full, which, mind you, I'm using 1 color per little mini drawing. I went really slowly. I usually am... Pencils just take me a long time. I'm not very quick at it. It's kind of like paint. You kind of just have to let it work itself out. And I've been using a lot of marker and paint marker recently, which is like, you slap the color on, it's opaque, and you're done. Not the case with pencils at all, as you can freaking see. I'm going so slow. This is like real time, and I'm cutting out a good bit of it because it took a long time. I do really like how it turned out. My wrist didn't hurt me this bad though, because I've actually been stretching, so if you've been needing a sign to do your fucking stretches, please do. But anyway, I do kind of finish up with this raccoon a little prematurely. I wind up coming back to it and deepening up some of the colors, because I kind of get into the groove with what exactly I am doing by the 2nd or 3rd raccoon. So now we're actually going to be moving on to the slightly lighter raccoon. I chose that other brown. I don't actually remember what the names are called. I already put them back in my little pencil bin, so they're gone forever as far as I'm concerned. But for this one, I started on the eyes and the face again. I was doing kind of a broken line work style thing. I love when watercolor artists do this. They'll do a broken line work in pencil over their watercolor color blocking. I like to try and mimic it with pencils a lot of the time. I do it kind of with alcohol marker, but it just doesn't work the same sometimes. So I'm doing it here, and then we know I'm a big fan of monochrome sketches and monochrome drawings in general, so I've just kind of been dipping into that because it's very fun for me, it's easy for me, and I get to kind of practice values and a little bit of patience, because it is a step-by-step thing. It is not a one and done process, that is for sure. Also, another little tidbit I love to add, I love drawing stripes like this. Like raccoon tails obviously are striped black and white sort of, but even on animals that like tigers or anything like that, I love doing this hatching style for stripes or even spots. I think it adds an extra layer of texture, and I'm a big fan of doing that. I think it makes it look more whimsical and homemade and hand-drawn. Yeah, speaking of hand-drawn, I used to be a digital artist. Isn't that funky? Like, I drew obviously traditionally for a long time before I got any sort of digital art, like, material, like my iPad. But I didn't really draw traditionally for a very long time, and I did draw digitally for a little while before at least when I first started my shop, and then I moved on to traditional with my kind of rebrand because I started doing it more often. I think that the overwhelming, like, crushing promotion of AI and AI art has kind of shifted me full throttle into traditional art, because it's like, no, fuck you, here I am, I made this with my hands. Anyway, I love the joy it's brought back into my life to draw with my hands. The pain, not so much loving the pain, but we're working through that. I'm trying to get better about holding my pencil a more ergonomic way, but I just don't think that's ever going to change, unfortunately, for me. But I've just, like, my sketchbooks are so colorful now. I used to only draw when I was, like, sad, or, like, draw just little doodles. There was nothing fully fleshed out, or even sketchbook spreads like this. Like, I've never done spreads before until these sketchbooks that I've been doing recently. And I'm just, like, really, really intrigued with what kind of brain functions happening with my little noggin, you know? Anyway, let's move the freak on. I have notes here because I can just talk forever about nothing, but I wanted to have a little bit of structure. As we move on to this next raccoon, I started getting a little bit more whimsical with the references. I kind of made this one up. I did reference one that was laying down, but I wanted the head on the tail and kind of like squished like a cat. And then I wanted to add some leaves around it just because I thought the space was a little too empty, and I'm convinced that if there's empty space, it is wasted space. Not true, not how that works, but you win some, you lose some. This is also a formal apology to anyone who has a more methodical method for drawing. I kind of make my way around in circles. I'm gonna make myself feel special and say that I work in a spiral. I do not. It is sporadic. But it works for me, and that's all that really matters. But right now I'm just kind of doing the same thing and like flicking around little pieces. I'm not going too hard with the pencil, especially now that it's sharp. These are a softer pastel, so they will break if you like death grip on them, which I have a very bad habit of doing. If you watch my other videos, I have mentioned that because you're a real fan. Thank you. But yeah, I'm dude, tangent, but I'm so excited for the sketchbook tour. This is the first sketchbook that I'm like genuinely really proud to show off. I do think that in my next sketchbook, I'm gonna try my best to not be as worried about it looking curated. This one's not necessarily curated, but there are more finished pieces than there are actual crazy sketch pages, in my opinion. In my first sketchbook that I did after my like long ass art block, it was crazy. Like there was some rancid looking drawings in there, and they were really chaotic and scratchy and messy, which is totally fine. I just kind of think I was a little bit more strict with myself, even though I do really like how it turned out. But there's gotta be balance, and I don't think I quite found the balance until the end, where I started playing more and using my crayons more and just letting it be not perfect more. I didn't run into too many art blocks too in this last year. Also, I am gonna finish it before the 1 year mark, which is like double exciting, whatever. I have not done that in ages. I don't even really think I finished sketchbooks when I was a kid. They would always be like a few pages and then I would ask for another one. Or I would like, I don't know, my parents just were always gifting them to me for birthdays and Christmas, and my relatives did too, so I never really had to buy too many. I did get quite a few from TJ Maxx though, because we love that place, me and my mom. But what the hell am I talking about? Anyway, I have an extra sketchbook right now. It's my Big Crescent Creative sketchbook. It got recommended to me in a YouTube comment. I've already mentioned this before. I'm so sorry if I'm redundant. It's gonna happen. It's just gonna happen. But it's pretty fucking big. How big is it? I don't actually know dimensions, but it's large. I'm gonna use that one for Inktober. This sketchbook page that you're seeing right now is one of the many that are getting me to the end of the sketchbook. So not only can I do a massive sketchbook tour, we're going to do a medium testing on the new sketchbook, and then we're also going to do Inktober in that sketchbook. Bottom line is that sketchbook is going to be a good source of like motivation and happy juice and everything like that, because it is like a sweet treat. It is a happy treat being like, oh, brand new, it has novelty, you know? Because by the end of this sketchbook that I'm currently working in, I'm kind of over her. Like, I just want to be done. I'm having fun drawing still, but like I'm itching for the fresh crispy page. I'm itching for it, and I'm like gnawing at the iron bars of my enclosure, you know? That's where I'm at. I will say though, as usual, I'm always a little bit anxious about new sketchbooks, just because I tend to put expectation on things that don't actually have expectation. I'm sure a lot of artists feel seen with that, because like, I mean, I've watched plenty of sketchbook tours and I've heard people talk about that, but like, dude, it's real. The false rules and false expectations that are just not there that we put on ourselves are so weird. Like, why do I do that? I don't know. But my girlfriend had this great idea to test my mediums that I haven't used yet, like my silky crayons and my gouache, on the first page, just so that like I can get the wiggles out. First page is done. It's got color. It's cute. It's clearly been used, but that way it doesn't have to be like a drawing for the first page. And to make sure that my first thing in there isn't an Inktober drawing, because I don't want to stress myself out to the point where I don't do it. And I did originally say that I was going to draw Inktober live this year, like not live, but like day by day. I don't think I'm going to do that because it just doesn't seem sustainable. I obviously work outside of doing YouTube and drawing for my own time and stuff like that. So it just doesn't, I don't think that would work. And on top of that, if I do it a week before, like do week by week, a week in advance, even if I fall behind, I'm not actually falling behind. So there's like, I just think that makes it easier for me. And because the prompts are already given and I found out that other artists draw early, I think I'm allowed to do that. I think it's not breaking the rules. So you'll be getting the Inktober video first I think day of October, which will be really fun. I'm gonna do them in ballpoint pen because I love me a ballpoint pen. Just some black ones. I did consider getting color, but I didn't want to like give myself too many avenues to like, I don't know, mess up. Like, I'm really trying to make this a not stressful experience for me because it will be my first year actually getting far into it. I'm saying that out loud. I will finish this. I don't give a frick. Anyway, back to the drawing. I'm currently shading in another raccoon, clearly. By this raccoon, I definitely get a lot smoother with my pencil pressure, and it starts looking really good. Like this one is like perfect raccoon. It just looks classic. I will say though, my favorite is that little baby holding his feet. Like he's really cute. Yeah, what the hell was I talking about? Anyway, what's on my notes? Oh! Next up on just general housekeeping, I think I have to do another Meet the Artist because not only is my hair cut now, so much has happened and changed since my little Meet the Artist several months ago. I haven't even been doing YouTube for a full year, you guys. Like this is still the beginning of like me figuring out what the hell I'm doing here. But I'm here to stay, so that's fun. But I think I want to do some sort of draw with me in like maybe crayon, maybe like draw my favorite things and stuff and just do like kind of a doodly vibe thing, or it'll probably just be some of my favorite animals while I yap to you. I don't really know how I want that to work, but I think we're due for another one that's a little higher quality now that I have an actual mic setup and an actual computer and like desk setup situation thing going. Yeah, just because there's so many new faces. Like I think about how many people, like I had a good amount of people who followed me when I first posted like, hey, I'm starting a channel on my Instagram and everything, but since then like it's been booming. We had a quiet moment there for a second, but we're back to booming. There's another 300 people on my account now, and I kind of want to say hi to everyone and kind of give you a little lay of the land because there's a lot going on here that's pretty fun and new. So yeah, we're gonna do one of those. It'll probably be some sort of voiceover thing. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't know how I'm gonna get through the sketchbook tour because it's gonna be a long one in my opinion, and my voice is already hurting, and it's been like 20 minutes of recording. Oh, I don't know how I'm supposed to do this, but I'm going to. But yeah, I'm having like a lot more fun with my art, and I have a lot of artly duties to do soon. Like I'm gonna be working with a friend to do well, first of all, let me lock the freak in. Let me get you this from the beginning. Let's get some context. I have a friend who is an author, like a writer, and I will be working on book covers for them. For a graphic novel, for a novel of the graphic novel, for a different novel. In that other novel series is probably going to be other novels can be a series. Hello, words. Yes. So artist work is in the making, and like my little author friend, she's also an artist and I love her to death. She's so cool, and it's like kind of cool getting to actually be valued and like mentored by someone who's already been in that kind of space, like freelancing and stuff for a while. So that's pretty fucking cool. I'm also gonna get to create some cool hybrid creatures for their like sci-fi kind of novel thing, which is insane. I used to love like mixing animals and creating little hybrids when I was a kid. It's kind of sweet because I get to watch my girlfriend's little brother do the same thing now, and it's like I just watch myself and I'm like that. I just watch him as myself sometimes. It's so weird. It's so cool. But yeah, so a lot of good things happening for me. I'm scared to fucking death, but I'm gonna do them. Because we have to be grown-ups. We have to take the opportunities where they land, and this is a good and actually like valued opportunity, not just some rando going, hey, are your commissions open? Like the scams on TikTok. But oh, speaking of commissions, because I got like 2 minutes left to talk to you before my time runs out. It's a goal. I promise it'll happen soon. I want to do pet commissions. I've been talking about this for months, but I am actually like motivated to get shit done recently, and I'm trying to get a hold of that so that I can actually like offer that as a service. And can I stop burping? And actually like make some beautiful artwork for you. And I think I want to keep it affordable and small, just so people can actually own original pieces without having to break the bank, because I know we're in a recession. We can be real. I know it's hard to pay for art, but it's also worth it to pay for art, especially of like your loved pets and like angel portraits and things like that. I think it would just be like really sweet. I did recently lose my dog as well, so I just like, it's kind of kicking it into gear because I've been drawing him a lot. You'll see in my sketchbook tour, there's many pages of him now. So it's just like, I just definitely want to do it now, because I've always known the feeling, because I've always grown up with pets. But even now, like now more than ever, him being like the pet I had in my 20s, I really want people to get their pets memorialized, or even just like picture framed, you know? Because having a drawing is different than a photo. It always is. It's special in its own way. So I think that's pretty much everything I have for today, because we're just scratching this little log on this raccoon, and we're gonna shade him up, and then he's all done. So yeah, thanks for yapping with me. Please, if you did like my yapping, consider liking, consider subscribing, consider commenting, consider sharing with a friend. I can be the YouTuber that you gatekeep. I can be your small favorite niche YouTuber. I can be that girl. Let me be that girl. Anyway, thank you guys for spending some time with me. I will see you in my outro. Goodbye. Hi, it's me again, which means it's the end of this video. I'm gonna show you the drawing one more time, just kind of like I always do, even though I give you a close-up shot of it. But this part's really fun for me, so I will never stop doing it. Wow, yeah, show it to the class. Thank you very much. We are so fucking close to the sketchbook being over, and which is good, because this paper is already falling out. Like, I've used these pages like twice. It's already ripping. Drew on it a day ago, and it's ripping, so totally love that. I also just bought a fixative so I can test my gouache and test my silky crayons. I'm gonna film a little test page in my new sketchbook soon, where I kind of go through all the mediums and seal them to see if anything transfers, just to make sure I don't fuck up the sketchbook immediately when I open it, because that would really upset me. But yeah, that's kind of all I have for you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for joining my channel if you're new here. Please do consider liking, commenting, subscribing if you did any like my video and like my little commentary and stuff and all that jazz. So goodbye. Do me a favor and drink some water. Take care of your mind, take your meds, and I will see you in the next video where we draw some more freaking animals, because that's what we do here. Yeah.